The C-SPAN networks bring you long-form public affairs programming from the nation's capital and are a public service of your television provider. C-SPAN, created by cable.
I want to start off with the 800-pound gorilla in the room. What happened the other night at the White House? You know, I was in the Ukraine on a fact-finding mission with a subcommittee of this body when we learned of this, and I called directly from the Ukraine immediately to my staff to find out what happened because it kind of knocked me out of my chair, considering the discussions you and I have had.
Yes, sir.
And first of all, I'd like you to give us the picture you think happened, because I think what was reported in the foreign press, at least, was it sounded like they crashed through a barrier, and the first thought was an iron gate or something like that, ignoring a crime scene tape in a state of intoxication. And inquiries further, it may not have been exactly that picture that we have. So I'd like you to give us a picture of what happened, and then I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the protocols that may or may not have been violated and what protocols are in place to cover the situation here. Alcohol is part of the stressful world that an awful lot of people live in. Outside my courtroom, there was a cartoon on the wall where the judge is addressing a young trial lawyer, and he says, "You need to know the most important two tenets of the law relative to trial work: caffeine by day, alcohol by night." It was meant to be a joke, but it's actually a tragic truth that in stressful jobs, those two become a major part of how people get through the day. But alcohol, as we all know, it messes up your judgment, and there got to be protocols that address this, and we have to deal with it because it's part of the life we have, and we are protecting the most important position on the face of the earth. That's your job. Yes, whoever sits in that White House, he or she are the most important person on earth politically in this world, with more power than anybody else, and therefore more enemies. So, talk to me about what happened, and then let's talk a little bit about protocols.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. On March 4th, 2015, our understanding is that two senior level special agents came to the White House. The initial reports, I did not hear of this incident until Monday. So this was on a Wednesday night. I found out Monday. Once I found out Monday, and what I heard initially, the initial reports from an anonymous report was that, as you stated, two senior level special agents had crashed into the White House and they were inebriated. I had not heard about that. I asked my staff if they had heard about it. They had not heard about it. I had asked them to get as much information as they could on the events, and then there wasn't a lot of information available, but I decided to immediately send it over to the Department of Homeland Security Office of the Inspector General. I thought it was very important that we have an independent investigation, that there would be no perception at all that we were involved, that we would not even start doing any interviews. We would give that case or that investigation to the OIG. I will also say that I brought my staff in on Monday, and we discussed why I didn't know prior to Monday of this event. And we had a good stern talk about that, and then instructed the staff to go out to their management to ensure that these events, any event of misconduct or operational errors, have to be relayed up the chain. I'll say that it's going to take time to change maybe some of this culture. There's no excuse for this information not to come up the chain. That's going to take time because I'm going to have to build trust with our workforce. And the best way for me to work or earn that trust with our workforce is by my actions. Now, I know I'm very eager to hear the results of this investigation. I don't know how long it will take, but I am committed to due process. What I have done is remove those 2 senior-level agents to non-supervisory positions outside. They're not working at the White House. They're outside of their offices, and we will await the findings of the OIG.
Well, let me ask you. On the issue of drinking, are there protocols set up to discuss the fact that, you know, every one of your people are carrying a weapon? This is purely hearsay. Someone told me that a person they knew in the FBI said the protocol for the FBI is, if you know you're going to a place where alcohol is going to be consumed and it's a retirement party where more than one drink might be consumed, that they expect their agents to report that to the superior, to leave their weapon at home, and to tell their superior that they would no longer be available for call because they might not be in a condition to be available for call. Do you have any types of and I don't know if that's true or not. That's something that was told to me. But this was a retirement party for a member of your group, and it was a party, and people were expecting there would be drinking at the party. Now, do you have any protocols like that in the Secret Service?
We do have a 10-hour rule, Mr. Chairman, where you are not permitted to consume alcohol 10 hours prior to your duty assignment. Off hours, we don't have protocols for off-hour going to a reception or a party or what have you. There are protocols for driving a government vehicle. I will say that you cannot obviously be under the influence, not by a legal limit, but you just cannot be exhibiting any indication that you're under the influence of alcohol driving a government vehicle. And that will all be looked into with the Office of the Inspector General. I will say that I did see a very short clip, a very short video footage of the incident that evening. And I did see the vehicle that the 2 agents traveled in, where they drove at a very low rate of speed onto the White House complex. So that's something that the OIG will have, and I'm sure we'll investigate that.
Going forward, are you going to look into protocols that would affect a situation like this?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Anytime we have an incident this level, we certainly have to look at our protocols, look at our policies. Are they sufficient? And to be candid, I have been away for several years and was not as familiar with these policies as I should have been. They have to be readdressed. Even the indication that you may be able to get into a vehicle after having one beer, one glass of wine, that's something we're going to have to address.
Well, certainly the DWI laws are pretty rough.
Yes, sir.
Pretty rough. Well, you and I have talked about this. You know, it breaks my heart to think that once again one of the agencies that has been a legend among the American people in the last 6 years has just gone downhill substantially, absolutely substantially, and it's a crime. Our people need heroes. You are an agency that were considered heroes that protected every president, no matter what party they were in, and did it in a very effective and efficient job. And this is really heartbreaking to have this continued conduct. I know you're new on the job, but I told you when we visited, you got a big job, and you're going to have to make heads roll. If there's a place to send people in your agency that is the Mojave Desert of the Secret Service, maybe some people need to be sent to the Mojave Desert so that they know that their behavior is unacceptable. So you think about all that.